And we're live. Happy holidays, Northreach. Welcome to the Chopping Block, the only podcast where we will not only discover the true meaning of Christmas, but we will expose it for what it really is. As always, I'm your host, Hars, and with me is my co-host, Vex.
Hello.
And our guest for today is the monarch of Icefire Bay, the youngest park in the kingdom. Welcome, Chinoha.
Good morning.
How's it going, Chi?
So good, although I'm slightly jet-lagged. I just flew in yesterday.
That's right. You came in from New Zealand, you said?
New Zealand, yes sir.
So you basically just got 22 hours of your life pulled out of you. How did it feel?
I'm really impressed you knew that exact number. Wow,
well,
good job.
I remember you were telling me about it earlier because we meant to do this a day early, and I'm not sure if you were still back at that point. So I was kind of prepping with that in mind.
Yeah, it felt pretty awful to shift all the times, especially because I spent about 2 days in the air.
I mean, that sounds like fun. You're basically time traveling.
Well, it would be great if I wasn't in one of those big public airplanes, you know?
Oh, yeah. I guess that's fair.
In the middle seats with screaming babies.
I'll be home for Christmas.
Oh boy.
So, speaking of which,
do all my Christmas shopping.
All right. Speaking of which, what are you doing for the holidays, Chi?
I'm gonna work and eat tons and tons of food, as per the norm.
Fair enough.
My mother goes crazy and cooks everything all at once.
There's nothing wrong with being festive. I can attest to that because I'm a certified festive.
I have seen that.
What about you, Vex? You got anything planned for the holiday season?
Just hanging with family and texting pictures of nude puffins to my friends.
What?
Wow, that did not go where I thought it would. What?
Okay, see, Vex, I didn't really start texting you until, we actually started doing this show, so now I'm a little afraid of what I'm gonna see on Christmas Eve.
Have you ever seen a dressed puffin?
I mean, with a bow tie or something? Vex, I feel like you're hiding something really dark from me.
No. Oh my god, that's the silliest. This is how, pervertedly dark your mind is. I say nude puffins. Okay. And you immediately go, what the hell is going on with your brain?
I usually think of, a bird that's been pulled of all of its feathers and is somehow not, bleeding anywhere.
No! Is puffin...
Okay, you guys can't see this one.
My eyes.
See, people who are watching this at home, they can't see this, but Vex has this kind of demented smile that looks like a little kid in a horror movie that's just come play with us.
No, it's puffins! I'm not being creepy! Jesus! I'm never saying anything witty again. I'm gonna keep all this classic sass to myself and the world will be deprived. Thank you, Hars.
I guess I'll just have to double my sass output. I'm giving you a vacation, Vex. This is for you.
I don't want it.
Hars with a double sass output sounds terrifying.
Fine, then be sassy. See if I care, Vex.
You done?
Maybe. Alright, I just realized we've been going on this for a little bit now, so, you know what? You know what? Fuck it. It's my show. I'll jump on this when I feel like it. So, how things been in Icefire Bay, Chi? It's been a hot minute since I've seen you guys, so how have things been going?
Well, it's been a hot minute since I've seen the park, too. I've been gone for a month.
Oh, well.
But, yeah. Before I went, things were doing okay. We had a slight dwindling in attendance rate. It's been going downwards instead of upwards, which is kind of sad.
Oh.
But we'll turn that around, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys can do it. I mean, you guys have been at this for... You guys have been at this for a while, so I'm sure you'll be able to retain your people.
Yeah, I think we've been going, 2 years?
Yeah, something like that.
Wow. Goodness gracious. Okay. Everybody's still having fun, and playstyle is still high spirits and all that on the battlefield.
That's good. Because I remember I've only like visited you guys a handful of times, but every time I have, it looked like it was all in good fun.
Heck yeah. We don't like to get down. We just like to get out there, run around, smile, chase each other, die.
No, that's the best way to live by, honestly.
Heck yeah. I mean, except for at work.
I don't know. I think it makes work a little more interesting.
Dying on the job?
Variety is the spice of life. Yeah, so anyway, I think now is a good time to get into this.
Good thought.
Alright, so as per usual, Deli has bombarded us with questions that have ranged from insane to...
And screenshots?
There was a thing for that, hold on. Okay. But yeah, so like before, I'm just gonna sort of interweave like these questions that Deli asks with other ones, so... and since I did the last one, Vex, I'm going to throw you under the bus and you can do the Deli questions. So I will start first. So this first one we got is from Malik, and that is, he has 3 questions. How did you make/get your persona name? What's your favorite video game? And what's your favorite Amtgard event, Northreach or otherwise?
Well, the persona name is actually kind of complicated and weird. I came up with it ages ago, way before I did LARP, and it came to be through a series of definitions and translations through Google Translate, just bouncing things around through not Japanese, but Javanese. Just
Japanese?
Weird. Javanese. It's spoken in Java.
Like, okay, see, that's not what I initially thought you were going with on that. I thought you meant like, when you said Java, I heard it as Javanese, like the coffee, and I'm like, wait a minute, what?
Yes, it is coffee cars.
I'm sorry. I'm ignorant to the linguistics of coffee.
Rude. I am a barista, you know. I love coffee.
Oh, well,
anyways.
Wait, there you go.
Eventually, I got Bloodblade translated into Javanese and translated around, and it came out as Chinoha.
Huh. So, Chinoha is Bloodblade?
Yes, sir.
Interesting.
Through a very strange, range of definitions. I honestly don't remember exactly what I did. Anyways, video games. I don't really play many video games. I never had any of those fancy Xbox thingies as a kid. Still don't. I played Minecraft with about 100 mods and built nuclear reactors and strip mines and stuff, but then everything melted down and I moved on.
Yeah.
My poor world did not like that. But I think my favorite video game right now is Pokemon Go. I play that every single day. I'm a Team Mystic, go Team Mystic, and level 30.
I'm kind of in that same boat. I'm a Mystic too, and Vex, I believe you said you were Instinct. Yes. I honestly don't remember if you said that or not. I just kind of assumed it, and it was kind of a safe bet.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically the Hufflepuff of Pokemon Go.
Yes.
It so is. I respect Instinct so much, but Mystic's the way to go.
All right. Well, that covers 2. What about the favorite Amtgard event?
My favorite Amtgard event was definitely last year's Dungeon Crawl. It ran so smoothly, and everybody had such a great time. It was really well put together. I was impressed.
I agree. Dungeon Crawl. I think last year's Dungeon Crawl was probably one of my favorites we've had. And I'm not just saying that just because I got my lore title at that one, but it was legitimately a good time to be had there.
It was a great time to be had there. I'm glad you got your lore title on such an auspicious day.
Alright, so for our first Deli question, what are some unique things about Icefire Bay?
Unique things about Icefire Bay. The energy level and happiness level is always, through the roof at our Shire. People just want to have a good time there. And that's all they're really involved with. We've never had to ban anybody, never had to really kick anybody out. We just say, if anybody's being a little bit of a problem, we just take them aside, talk to them, stuff like that. I'm really happy with that. But what makes us really unique is that we have a much wider range of ages, because we're really inclusive and we had a lot of youth interest, so we let younger kids play as long as they can take hits.
Yeah, I do remember you definitely have a lot more younger players than I'm used to seeing.
Yeah, we have the Munchkins. They all can take the hit. And that's it.
Yeah, that's true. You got some heavy hitters in your park, from what I remember.
I think so.
All right, so another triple threat from one of our other ones is from Karina, and she asks, "Who is your favorite Amtgarder? What is your favorite animal? And if you could live in any time, what time would you live in, and why?"
Wow. Favorite Amtgarder is really obvious. Shameless plug. My mother.
Aww.
Aww. That's Hazelra, and she's been doing a lot of behind-the-scenes work, the sort of booking places, scheduling events, and such.
I can definitely attest, she is pretty awesome.
Oh yes. And she cooks a lot for all of us.
I can also attest to that, because of the few times I have stayed in Icefire Bay, pretty much like all of our food we got catered to us was by Hazel herself. Like it's like a whole bed and breakfast deal, and it's awesome.
Yeah, it's a good place. I'm happy with it. Favorite animal? I adore cats above anything else. My favorite kind of feline is those big black panthers. They're pretty impressive.
All right, and so what about the?
Oh, right, time period. Oh boy. Honestly, I don't feel personally equipped to live in any time period aside from the current one. I'd be tempted to go back to medieval times, but the lack of quality in food and the increase in disease makes that not sound very fun.
Yeah, I guess at your age, if you go back then, you'd be considered like an older adult.
Oh gosh, yeah, that'd be weird. I'd be expected to settle down and marry.
Yeah. Come on, Sonny, it's the 1700s. Wake up and smell the plague.
Yes, that. So, I'd just be happy in our current time period.
I guess that works.
Next is Deli. It's a different rendition of a same question. What does Icefire Bay do well at? Grammar, Deli. Come on.
Wow. Okay. What do we do well at? Pretty much what I said. Staying happy and having a grand time. Being inclusive and being open to everybody. Those are mainly our strong points.
And the next question. What does Icefire Bay not do well at?
What don't we do well at is we
Frowny
have
faces.
some trouble. Sorry?
Sorry, frowny faces.
Frowny face. Oh, Deli. We have trouble finding and retaining responsible adults who could handle leadership positions. It seems to be the same few people in the same leadership positions over and over.
I mean, to be fair, with your general populace mostly being like underage, it's something that'll probably resolve itself with time if you're able to keep the ones that you do have.
Yeah, that's exactly what I expect. I just keep hoping to groom everybody, plant the seeds, and hope that someday they'll grow up to be good leaders.
A beautiful Icefire Bay tree.
Indoctrination.
Or that too.
Heck yeah, I like where both of those minds are going.
Alright, so our next question is from Drake, and he asks, as a martial artist and instructor, what overlap do you see with Amtgard and traditional martial arts? Also, how do you see them benefiting each other?
This is a cool subject. There's a lot on this. With very traditional martial arts, the tournament system tends to be point sparring, which is all about making a good technique that reaches your opponent at an appropriate distance and could put them down. And that's what it's all focused on. And I find that has a lot of overlap with how Amtgard is basically speed tag. You just want to hit your opponent before they can hit you. So point sparring and Amtgard are pretty similar in that they both focus on speed and angles and distance.
So I heard that you guys actually have like an instructor that teaches, like I don't know if you have it specifically in Icefire Bay. In fact, I'd be kind of surprised, but I heard that you guys actually do have like in Homer, you guys have a studio that teaches Filipino Eskrima. Is that true?
Oh yes, we do.
Really?
Cali stick fighting and Eskrima. Yeah.
So I was gonna say that's like one of the big martial arts I could see as a good contributor to like improving your stick game in Amtgard.
I definitely agree. The guy that teaches that's a very impressive, scary ex-army guy.
Oh.
But he's like super happy and nice and friendly, and looking at him you wouldn't guess that he's a badass. And then he'll call you up in front of class to demonstrate a move, and in 2 seconds you have no idea how you got on the floor or where your legs are right now. He's really quite impressive.
You should totally bring him out. I'd love to meet this guy at like a big event like Wolf's Cry.
I really should get him to go. Yeah, he's usually a really busy guy though, because he runs the Homer gym.
That's
and
fair.
He teaches boxing and stick fighting and all sorts of stuff.
Hey man, make time, you know?
Okay. I also think that being an instructor in martial arts is really helpful to helping people learn better combat technique in Amtgard, because you can use the same teaching principles. They're pretty ubiquitous. Just discipline them and show them what to do.
Alright, next we got another Delhi question. Who are some specific people in Icefire Bay that have contributed to its success?
This is a cool subject. Our core of steadfast leaders, Gudrun, Hazel, and Aryan, they're super helpful. They put in so much work, and they keep the whole fabric together. We have some members who've been with us since forever, who really help make it a happy, dependable place. People like Harkin, people like Rookwin and Johnway and Silvertongue, who've been there for a while. They really bring up the combat and the battlefield happiness. And yeah, that seems about it.
Well, if you guys are listening to this at home, this big shout out's for you guys.
Big shout outs.
Alright, so this next one we got is again from Malik. What is your favorite mythical creature, besides the archers, which as we all know isn't a real class?
Good paraphrasing. Mechanics-wise in the game, my favorite mythical character to work with and mess around with in quests would probably be the Rust Monster or Rust Imp. I think it's really cool to mess with that class and see what kind of ideas you want to come off of it. I had it throwing force bolts, and if you hit it with any weapon, that weapon was subject to weapon destroying.
That's awesome.
Super fun stuff. It really makes mending casters super relevant in your team.
Favorite non-combatant moment in Amtgard, and favorite combatant moment in Amtgard.
More daily questions.
Mm-hmm.
Yay, Delhi! I really loved staying up all night at my first ever Wolf's Cry 2 years ago. I met tons of awesome people, made a bunch of friends. I collected a lot of big hugs from very large, drunk, emotional guys. Just good times overall. Drunk jugging was awesome to watch. Favorite actual combat moment? Probably that time in the dungeon crawl, last dungeon crawl, when there were two teams teamed up way in the back and the right, and then 3 of us teamed it was two big powers, and three of us just teamed together and rode in there and tried to wipe everybody out. And you could look around on the ground, and there was just a sea of corpses. People everywhere. Dead.
I remember that one. I was there the day the strength of men fell.
Oh Lord!
I think I was one of those two. I think I was on one of those two teams that was like fighting for control in that place.
Yeah, I was on the three teamed up offense teams.
Yeah, see, all I remember is it was a bloodbath.
That's exactly what it was. You couldn't even tell who was on whose team.
Mm-hmm.
You just put your head down and killed people.
Sometimes you just gotta sit back and wonder what it was all for.
The dead. Definitely the dead.
You stand in the grave of over 1 trillion dead souls, and you ask yourselves, what's honor in the face of battle? Their silence is your answer.
That was chilling, and I have no idea what it's from.
It was Mass Effect.
Oh, a video game. Yes, okay.
Yes, I am the video gamers.
The video gamers.
Yes, I am the bestest video gamist at everything. Take that, bullies.
Wow. Good job. Good middle schooler impression.
Right? Okay, so this next one we got is from Drasik, and that is, who are your top 5 casters?
This is such a hard question, and I thought about this for so long. I have chosen 5 casters, and I've learned from in Northreach, and some specific lesson that each of them have taught me. I can't put them in any specific order of best to last, but they're all very impressive people. First off, Mara. He has an inspirational drive on the battlefield.
Hell yeah.
And a lot of knowledge. I could learn a lot from her mentality and her dedication to the caster classes.
She's a brutal teacher, I can definitely tell you that much.
Oh yeah. You learn at the end of a spell ball from her.
Yeah.
I also really respect Oz's creativity and exploration.
Oh yeah?
He also has a drive to teach everybody as much as he can. I'm sure everybody has seen him take aside some new caster and teach that new caster all his dirty tricks. And it really improves everybody's casting play, I think, on the battlefield. So I learned from him creativity and just being the first to go walk over to some person and just show them what you can do and teach them how to do things better. I think that's really cool.
That's a good mentality to have, I agree.
Heck yeah. Goran obviously made the list. It doesn't really matter what class he plays, he's super effective. And what I learned from him is just dedication and memorization. It's best just to keep learning and keep working on notes until you can just rattle it off like nothing. Yeah, the lesson there is skiing. I learned a lot from Abram. How to be aggressive as a cast, how to use stick while you're casting as well.
Oh, that's right. I forgot you're his apprentice. That's true.
Yeah, I am his apprentice. It would be weird not to give him a shout out in my top 5s list. And man, he earned it. I remember going to Frozen Coast for the first time and battling with you guys, and watching him on the enemy team just striding forward, ice-balling everybody and killing everybody else. And it was terrifying and made a big impact on me, just like his sword did.
Yeah, he's good at what he does.
You could say that. And finally, you, Hars, made a big impact on me as well. Your dedication to your persona, I think you figured out what kind of a caster you wanted to be, and you showed everybody what it was. And that's inspirational.
Aww. You're making me blush. Stop it.
Aww.
But for real though, but for real though, I appreciate that. Thank you, Cheek.
Yeah, of course you'd make the list. Your Battlefield swagger is something that everybody knows about.
We call it rogue swag here, baby.
Oh, heck yeah. Real rogues do it from behind.
Baby, you know it. Alright. Okay, Vex, I'm gonna do you a solid on this one and take these next couple deli questions.
Yay!
Okay.
Deli!
So, yeah, I'm kind of doing this in protest. I'm asking them in pairs because... Anyway, so these next ones from Deli are, what's your favorite Northreach event, and what's your favorite Icefire Bay event?
Northreach is easy. Dungeon crawl. Man,
Sweet.
I love that. Yeah, I love all the lights off and then close combat in a big maze. That's just such a cool idea.
See, I like how I know how everybody considers Walshcry to sort of be like the big event for the Kingdom, but I think Dungeon Crawl is definitely climbing up there. I'm not sure if it's past it yet, but it definitely has the capacity to be.
Wolfcry is all fun and games and good, but there's a lot of politics in there. And it's all based around coronation. I like the castle, and I like playing outside, but Dungeon Crawl, from like a stick perspective, is just so much fun.
That's fair. And I can definitely agree. I've had some good times at Dungeon Crawl.
Heck yeah. Favorite ice event was probably our first Masquerade Ball.
Ah, yes. That was a good time. I remember that.
That was a blast. Yeah, I'm really glad all y'all made it down. That really made an impact.
Yeah, I was glad to be there. It was fun.
Awesome. Yeah, the dancing was pretty fun. I spent a lot of time making...
I'm also glad that it became like a returning thing. Like, I was glad that when we came back to visit your guys' mid-reign the next year, it became like seems to be a nice Fire Bay tradition, and I'm glad that you guys are getting those.
Yeah, I'm really happy with that. I think we should keep it going. And the last one was a little bit low on attendance, which was a shame, but we still had fun. Yeah,
I had fun.
I'm glad. I'm glad people come down and get a little taste of Icefire Bay, our unusual nonconformity.
Alright, next is Lachlan, and he asks, as usual, in a game of Cards against Northreach, what would your white card be?
And for context, it's basically just imagine Cards Against Humanity with Amtgard spin on it.
I spent a while thinking about this one. Eventually, I just pulled one of my favorite moments from Wolfcry. I think I would go with Sir Randall and the Dirty Peasants.
I like that.
The Dirty Peasants!
Okay. I think I know it. Well, I think we found our episode title.
Heck yes.
Not gonna lie, I was this close to actually coming up with the title for this episode myself, but thank you, Chi. Thank you for keeping up tradition.
My pleasure. I think that moment when you see this very proper Amtgard Crown Knight just muddy his face and run with the rabble, that was iconic.
Hey, he's a voice of the people. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise.
Yeah, it's obvious he really cares about every Amtgarder, not just the clean ones. All what, 2 of us?
Yeah, both of you.
Oh.
Okay, and the last deadly question we have from here is, wait for it, what is your favorite thing to get from the deli? Besides turtle soup, obviously.
I'm honestly really confused, Prince. I don't get it at all.
By what?
The turtle soup thing?
Because he has this thing with turtles.
Okay. Anyways, Deli can be really, really helpful. I like to get advice and guidance in leadership, combat, and crafting. He's been doing this a while, and he knows what he's doing, and he's always glad to share.
Okay, I'm sure that's really nice, but I think he meant the actual deli.
Huh?
I think he meant the actual deli, like the meat shop.
Oh, like the food place. Really?
I don't know.
Okay.
I legitimately can't tell with deli half the time, so you know what?
Yeah. I love croissant. I'd happily get a croissant, black coffee.
Alright. Well, our last question we have here is from Malik, and that is if you could create a new ability and add it to any class, what would it be and what class would it go to? From Malik.
This is a really cool question. I would like to make mass healing, but with men's.
That'd be kind of
Big
cool.
white strips. You can still move your legs, and you can just say, I don't know. I return the side for glory.
Yeah, like instead of being a bastion of healing, you get you can be a bastion of mending or something. So who would you give that to?
I think it should be for healer or druid. Maybe 5th level. Maybe druid 5th level would be more applicable. And like an effect where you can still move your feet.
Right. Okay, well, that wraps up the main questions we got here. So that brings us to the next part of our show, that is Vex's lightning round. And if you're watching by this point, you probably know what that is already, but for those of you who don't know, this is pretty much where I just kind of let Vex go off her hinges and do whatever she wants. So with that, Vex, it's all you.
What's your favorite caffeinated drink?
Oh, definitely what we call a doppio. It's just a double shot of espresso. That's all it is.
Whoa.
Yes. I usually pull myself about 8 per day while I'm working.
Ooh.
Wait, for yourself or for other people?
For myself.
Jeez. How are you still alive?
Yeah, it's kind of a problem. It's really kind of a problem, honestly.
It sounds like a big problem.
Don't worry about it.
What's your favorite snack?
Popcorn? I adore popcorn.
What's your favorite holiday?
Yeah, I have a major sweet tooth, so Halloween is pretty great because there's always tons of candy everywhere.
Yeah.
And also dressing up is great.
Agreed. Love me some spooky time.
Yes.
Spooky.
What is the best place you've ever traveled to?
Such a cool question. Italy was amazing. I'd love to see Venice. The gelato there was fantastic, but I think New Zealand topped that. New Zealand was probably the best. The most beautiful countryside.
So I have to ask, you said you went to New Zealand. Did you ever visit the Hobbit holes?
I did not, actually. I stayed mostly in the Christchurch area. I thought about doing that, but I'm much more into the Tolkien books than the movies.
Well, it's just, I don't know if the Hobbit holes were there specifically, but I know like a majority of it was filmed in New Zealand.
No, the Hobbit holes are there.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
You can book weddings there. You can book, like, overnight stays there.
That's awesome.
Big parties. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I might want to go sometime later.
Who's your favorite Tolkien character?
Oh my gosh, this is such a good question. I'm a super Tolkien nerd. Mine is definitely Tom Bombadil.
Yes.
He's the best. And
Oh,
super
Tom
underrated.
Bombadil was
So
a merry
fun.
fellow, by blue, but his jacket and his boots are yellow.
Oh my god, I'm so glad you have that one memorized as well.
I don't remember how I got that memorized. I just remembered it popped into my head recently, so.
He sings it a lot.
Yeah.
The best college class I ever took at UAA was a Tolkien class.
Oh, hell yeah.
All Tolkien. All the time. So great.
How much did you learn?
Oh, man. I don't know how much I retained, but I learned a lot.
Do you know what Gandalf's real name is?
Oh, I did not retain that.
Okay.
There's a
Middle
lot.
Earth, Middle Earth was created?
Oh, don't quiz me.
Okay, sorry.
Quiz me.
She's
I
the one.
pretend
She's the one
I-
asking you the questions here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of going off my own lightning round.
Well, we can do that after the show's over.
Oh, maybe. I'm a big fan of Tolkien's work.
Yeah. What's your favorite life hack?
Life hack?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got nothing on that. I don't really do life hacks.
Okay. Nothing that's any kind of like tips or cheats to make something in life. Hars is about to explode.
Yeah, I got nothing.
I'm sorry. Every time I hear life hacks, it's like a Pavlov thing. I just immediately associate it with Filthy Frank.
Oh.
That one right over my head.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'll explain it after the show.
Yeah.
I'm
Meantime.
torn between saying please do and please don't.
Oh yeah, trust me, there's a reason for that.
Yeah. What's one of your major life goals?
Becoming a martial arts movie actor.
Yes!
Yes?
Yes! That's so exciting!
It is really exciting.
I love that.
Like Bruce Lee or Julie Andrews.
Who? Sorry, I don't really know actors very well.
Do you know Bruce Lee?
Oh yeah, but not
Okay.
Julie Andrews.
Julie Andrews? Hars is a sarcastic little shit. She is a musical artist.
She's Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
Alrighty then.
That would be an awesome Mary Poppins
Dude,
movie.
right?
Get the kids to go to bed the right way.
Yeah, instead of like that whole thing where she like makes them do everything
Spoonful
like
of sugar.
yeah,
Spoonful of 5-finger palm.
exactly. Instead of like when she casts the spell to make them do everything like twice as fast to exhaust them, she just like freaking judo chops the both of them out.
Just has them spar.
That sounds like a show I'd watch.
She's like, oh god, Mary Poppins is here. We're gonna do nothing but spar for 4 hours.
Oh, that sounds like a fantastic time.
What's your favorite kitchen appliance?
Probably the big wand that has the blade on the end that you can shove into your pot and it just purees everything.
Ooh, those are fun.
Super handy.
Yeah.
Good for smoothies, good for soup.
Yeah.
Oh, took me to realize what you were talking about.
And Cuisinarts are obviously super handy.
Mm-hmm. Well, alright, with that, I believe that's our episode. Well, I'd like to thank everybody who's been watching up to this point, and thank you, Chi, for being on the show.
Love you guys, and love everybody listening.
Alright, well, once again, guys, thank you, and tune in next weekend where we'll be introducing our special guest. She was the original queen of us before we were part of Dragonspine. Our next guest will be Azrael Jade. Until then, I'm Hars, this is Vex, and you've been watching The Chopping Block. Happy holidays, everybody. Have a good night.
Good night.
Bye-bye.